Now, I remember my college days. I'm sure many of you can relate to this as well. How many of you really studied everything that was there in a textbook? How many of you have really studied everything that is prescribed in the textbook? We don't do that, right? We are like very smart. What do? We look at all the previous year's question papers, look at what are the things that have been frequently asked, important questions. Yes, Shravan. We also had books called as scanners. Yes, we did. We had question banks. So what we used to do, we used to study the first 3 chapters because those were kind of easy theory stuff, and then maybe skip few chapters and then go on to study the last chapters. Right? That's how all of us graduated. Most of us. I don't want to generalize it and say all of us, but at least that is how I studied. Right? Never went through the entire textbook. Look at what is required, what is going to be asked in the exams. Just study that, go write, come back. But you know what? That attitude, what we thought was the smart way of studying, let me tell you one thing, it is not going to be applicable when you want to be a software developer. If you want to be in a position to build an application all by yourself, that is not going to suffice. Something is difficult. Man, let me skip this. Let me move on to the next section. No, don't do that. Because every single thing that you're going to be studying is in a way going to be used for building a real world application. Okay, so keep that in mind. So initially I want you guys to kind of rewire yourself as to what are the things that I need to do for being in a position to build an application. Right? Many things that we have to rewire ourselves. Our beliefs in how we studied, what was required is very, very different if you want to really be in a position to build an application. It is like this, very simple. At home, let's say on the weekend, mom is going to be preparing biryani at home. At the end of the day, if you want to get this delicious biryani, there's not 1 or 2 or 3 ingredients that are going to be used, right? There's a whole process that is involved. If you're not going to get the biryani masala, ready-made biryani masala, imagine they have to prepare that whole masala and then prepare the biryani first. Now, at the end of the day, all these ingredients, in a certain way, when they're put together, you get this delicious biryani that you can relish all afternoon. Now, you know what? Software development is no different from preparing a biryani. Let me tell you that. If you need to have an application built, say an instant messaging app like WhatsApp or a web application like Twitter, at the end of the day, it is all these ingredients. So what is the ingredients required for building an application? Everything that you're studying. You're going to be making use of variables. You're going to be working with different data types. You're going to be using conditional statements. You're going to be using loops. You're going to be using functions. Right? So it's going to be the same set of things that you're going to be using to build out an application at the end of the day. So just keep this in mind. Do not skip anything. Okay, don't try to bypass anything. You will never know where this is going to be required.